Shazlam! We're live, and it's Monday. It's a new week. I survived first day at work. Hope anyone else who's doing the Monday to Friday did as well. I know a lot of people aren't working, and a lot of people don't do Monday to Friday. I do, so that's how I see the world, and you're stuck with it, with me. Anyway, so good evening. Hey, Luke. Hey, Shannon. Oh, that's probably Aidsy dinging me. He's going to listen to just. Okay, Aidsy's going to join us. Dun, dun, dun. Luke, backselling big issues. Blishu. Bleak blishu. No, I have not been drinking. I'm not covering for myself. It's just sometimes word be hard. No good the noise make with mouth bits. Tongue get in way, not in good way. Hey, Stella and Megalich. Oh, and Shannon, do you question? Yeah, I'll probably invite people on. I'm going to wait to let Aidsy have his say first. He's probably going to join us. If he doesn't join in the first half hour, then I'll probably just open the gates to all who feel so compelled. And yes, look, it's the cocktail making outfit. Gonna make a video because tomorrow is Mai Tai Day. Apparently there's a controversy. There's 2 Mai Tai days. Which is strange, honestly, to me. But what just happened to my goddamn thingy? Told you I'm having trouble with words. Browser window. London Sour, Mai Tai Day. They what's fun is there's controversy about Mai Tais. Luke, 3 COVID-19 cases in South Australia thing. As I've been saying for a couple of days with this out of control in Melbourne. Oop, there's a mysterious stranger at the door. What are you looking for, mysterious stranger? Oh, if you can't get something out of the fridge or the cupboard or something, you're not on camera, so it's all good. I got to accommodate the rest of the house. This is what happens. I just take over the kitchen, but occasionally people want things out of the kitchen. I hear a kettle going, so it's tea or something, is it? Or anywho, yes. Anyone who reckons there aren't undiscovered cases in the community in other states is fooling themselves. What we're seeing in Melbourne is a really clear warning. This old disease is super contagious and can spiral out of control real fast. We're still trying to get it down to 0. The US is about to hit the wall, fall off a cliff, whichever colorful metaphor you want. I think we're looking at although it's only the 3 worst cases now. The 3 worst cases now seem to be the US, the UK, and Brazil. I think Russia and India stand a good chance of giving it a run for the money. And who knows, as it continues to spread, what the fuck's going to happen. Should I wear a mask, Safa? If the official advice changes to, hey, if you go out to the shops, wear a mask, I'm going to do it. I have masks. Got a packet of masks from Costco because I thought it was distinctly possible we were going to end up getting that directive. So, yeah. Ahmed, you got it back in December in China. Well, counterpoint. For you personally, it was not a big deal. Depending, we really don't have all the information, but I think it's reasonably safe to say for 70 to 80% of people who contract the virus, it's no big deal. I'll put a big asterisk on that and say, so far as we know, because we still don't know. We know fuck all about this fucking virus, honestly. I think at the moment it looks like it's safe to say 75, 80% of people are okay. That 20 to 30%, though, they have a sliding scale. The polite way I heard it described by someone who didn't need hospitalization, right? Just hit them like the flu. They described it as turbo flu. It's like, no, it knocks you. If it gets you, it knocks you fucking flat. And then you recover. Now, if you get hospitalized, like if it's that bad that your life's in danger and you're hospitalized, that's another thing. And there are a whole bunch of indications that there are potential long-term complications to that. And of course, the really bad thing is if your lungs fill up with fluid and you can't breathe and they put you on a respirator, which is at the moment, I think, somewhere between 5 and 10% of cases, depending how bad the outbreaks are. And boomph, then you're on the respirator till you either live or die. Stella, Grasshopper wants to know if I can see YouTube or Facebook comments. And I can't, but apparently you can, which is super fucking strange. Hey, Abigail and Lee and Safa and anyone else I missed. Yeah, Lee, that's a fair thing. Your friend's saying it felt like broken glass in her lungs when she had it. Yeah. Basically, yeah, with definitely with a decent chunk of people, yeah, as much as even 70% or more of people who get it, they barely even notice they've got it. But once it gets you, it fucking gets you. Oh, Shannon, sorry. Shannon, yes, I can see your comment, Shannon, your Facebook comment. And yes, I will probably put the link out soon. I'm going to give AZ the opportunity to get some time himself, but he may not be able to. We should actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to quickly look on YouTube. Not top chat. I want live chat. All the chat. I was looking. No, that's really fucking strange that I don't see your YouTube comments. But anyway, I do see your Facebook comments. Yes, I've got. Well, it's the whole South Park kids on this tie. Yes. Right, so I'm going to have a drink. This is the one I made last night, the clarified pina colada, clarified with coconut milk, and it did clarify. It's got that really pretty yellow color. The fucking nut milk bag did not work. Dun, dun, dun. That's a decent drink in there. But yes, the nut milk bag did not work. So I filtered it with coffee filter, and just because we had a working theory that maybe it was the paper that made the drink that I'd previously filtered with coconut milk taste not good. I ran water. I wet the paper. I ran water through the filter, and then this. So. Now that's good. Oh my God. Because those with long memories will know I've tried twice before clarified drinks, clarified with coconut milk, and I did not like them. This is good though. Oh, speaking of tasty.
Hello.
How are you doing, AZ?
How are you, good people? Am I looking at you straight now?
Yeah, but like I said, you don't have to. You were worried about it. It actually looks a bit creepy when you.
Hang on, I've got to turn you up because I can't hear a bloody thing because Screamy Lady's on. Now, what Screamy Lady is very distressed and mentally ill. So what she does is she gets herself into a position where she starts screaming the same thing over and over and again, and it's like being in a very, very slow house concert So instead of the beat going doof, 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 it goes uh. There you go. Is that
All
where the
right.
camera is?
Yeah,
Am I
that
looking at
is.
the camera?
Yeah, but you don't need to because that actually looks super creepy. I think everyone's okay because I do this. I'm looking at the camera now, but I don't do it very often. So don't be obsessed with looking at the camera. Hi, Annette. Oh, Shannon, you didn't know AD was back in hospital. He's been in there a couple of weeks, and he'll be in there a couple of weeks more.
Look, my gown's not too bad.
You haven't spilled stuff on your gown today? A little bit. I can see little stains on it. I can see little stains.
See? You can see bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And you can see that I'm drinking coffee. No, you can't. Because I finished it. Some bastard drank my coffee. Might have been me.
Yep, okay. Megaleech thinks you look like you cut yourself shaving. Is that what happened?
I really did. Several times.
Yeah.
I was a little bit like one of those kids that says, no, I want to do it. I want to do it. And I did. And I really fucked up my face. It looked like Freddy Krueger and me had gone 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And I won. I beat him. But Jesus Christ, he put up a fight. And I just was coming out of this shave going, I don't think toilet paper is going to fix this. Yeah, no. And at one point, I've come out a few days ago, and nurses and doctors were seriously looking at the shave cut I'd given myself and gone, does that require a stitch?
Oh, damn.
And so what they did, they butterfly clipped it up and then put a big fat Band-Aid on it. And they said, not shaving for you. Did him out. I didn't shave for a couple of days, and then they shaved me. And then a couple of days after I said, I can shave me, I want to do it, and then I did okay. And then a couple of days later, I did it, and I didn't do a good job.
Luke might have an idea. Maybe I should get you an electric shaver.
Will it be a really sexy one?
Maybe. One of those sort of Swedish models with the multi-speeds. Yeah.
Because I know boss of the house likes me clean shaven.
Yeah.
And I know that my hand. I want to show you some writing. I think.
Okay, show me some writing.
I want to show you my writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got to move everything around now. I've got to move the phone in case that me and Angry wants secret communications. You'll probably, there you go. You can see my writing. Can you see my writing?
Yeah. So like zeros and ones.
Yes. The point being is that the circle and the line is the basis of all writing in English.
Yes.
The pieces of circle and pieces of line make up all our letters.
Yes.
So I'll write down. Give me a line to write down.
It's weird you put on the spot like that. You don't know what to say. It's just like,
okay,
ring the bells, my comrade.
I don't know what to say. I don't.
Yeah, I think you're right, Luke. I don't think you can really cut yourself with an electric shaver. Yeah, Stella, I thought AD is turning into a robot and just communicating in binary there. That's the thing. Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Hey, Justin.
AD is just demonstrating how much better his motor control is getting and showing us his writing skills. A man with mad skills, as the kids say.
So, This is my very best writing now.
Yeah, there you go. It's getting there.
So this is why I've got $2,500 fountain pens in my lunchbox of pens and pencils.
Yeah.
Which aren't frustrating me at all.
Mm.
They are some of the smoothest, most beautiful things you will write with in your life. The only thing smoother is my father's gold Parker pen. It's got a golden nib.
Ooh.
And if you write with it for a week, it'll scratch itself into your writing style. And it is so smooth. It's like writing on silk. Or wiping your ass with silk. It's that smooth.
That's smooth.
And it's you know how sometimes when you get a really soft pencil, it's not charcoal, but it's a pencil. And you write, do a mark with it, and it slides across the page.
Yeah.
That's what these pens are like. They just glide. Like with a biro, you've got to push and pull and drag and gouge the paper, or you've got to delicately spider over the top so you can get the marks going. And it's always, you can do good work with a biro. I've seen it done. But with a fountain pen, man, you can just get your flow on, and then you get your flourish on. If you really in a good way, you get your flourish going, and you get this letter come out the other end. It looks like this copper black beauty. And then I bought myself a whole bunch of different nibs, some calligraphy nibs, and some just old fashions. And you put these fine line inkers on, and this is like a manga kind of tool set these days, but back in the old days they were engravers, illustrators. So the engravers would they would illustrate using these ink pens, and the ink was India ink mixed with sort of a waxen thing. Then a platen would be put down and peeled off after it was heated, and that area was the blank. That was the bit that was to be left alone, and then a piece of paper was to be put down and inked, and everything was black except for where the etcher had done her work. And then the piece of paper would be peeled off, and this is the genius part. This is the part that blows my tiny mind. Then it would be passed through another solution of chemical, and the colours would swap. The etched part would go black, and the inked part would completely dissolve away, utterly dissolve away until you had this pure white. This was very important because then you'd take the etching, put it on a copper plate press along with the original platen, and then roll it, and you get newspaper pictures. These newspaper pictures could be cut up into grids, and those grids could be telegraphed across the country to affiliate newspapers, and they could be reformed on the same platen machine that you had in LA as you had in New York, and you could have, for the first time in history, have pictures flashed across the nation of murder victims, of criminals who were held up against the wall dead, and of criminals they were looking for. And it was in 1889 that for the first time they caught a criminal who was trying to run to Canada because locals read the newspaper and said, hang on, I've seen this man. And they wired into the police, I've seen this man. and the Canadians were waiting for him at the border, and they arrested him.
Mm.
So
There's a similar story of the
Yeah.
radio when it wasn't widely known how radio worked. A famous English murderer, Dr. Crippen, I think, thought he'd escaped on a boat to, it might have been Canada again. It was a long boat trip. And he thought he'd escaped and goes, they shall never get me. And they just radioed ahead and went, there's a dude on that boat, looks like this, arrest him as soon as he gets off. And he was totally shocked.
Multi-murderer and a creep.
Yeah, because he thought the only way to get messages was to write him down and put him on another boat, which meant, he was going to be well gone.
Well away.
So it didn't matter that he was going through customs and giving them his real name, because no one would know the coppers were after him. But he didn't know how radio worked, and he got busted at the port, and he was well miffed. Also, I just want to say hi to Kirsten, who came in while we were talking before.
Hi, Kirsten. How you going? Not only was Crippen well miffed, he was well hanged.
Yes.
They hanged that motherfucker real hard.
Yeah.
After they dug up the 9th body in his house, they said, we don't need any more. Crippen, you're a sick motherfucker.
Time to swing.
You're dangerous around playgrounds. It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
And he said, but hanging's bad. It kills people. Right.
Yeah. By the way, Stella says you're getting heavy into the calligraphy porn and making her jealous.
Isn't it though, Stella?
Mm.
You see calligraphers do their thing, and you just go, I've had an automatic discharge. And then you see there's another class of calligrapher called illuminators. Illuminators are the people who do the borders and inking for oldie-timey Bibles on vellum.
Yeah.
And they use goose quill pens, and their apprenticeship is a mere 25 years. They're allowed
I also noticed Abigail taking it the other way, not just sexy pens. She has an expensive cotton writing paper used to make books with, and it's amazing to write and draw and sketch on.
I've got that combo. I've got a hardbound book of writing paper.
Yeah.
And what you do is you write on this paper, and then you score it with a tool that comes in the spine of the book. You score the paper down a particular dotted line, and then you close the book, twist it, open it again, and then then pull the paper out at once, and it just slides out of its housing. And you usually don't have to trim it up at all. But they suggest if there's any dotted lines showing that you cut along a dotted line. And to write on that is so fucking tempting because it's the finish of the draft. It's the last thing you write on. Because the paper is, I was being a bit indulgent. It's $100 a book.
Yeah.
And you get 80 pages. Right. And you're just starting to go, that's not $2.60
in the sink.
Coles. And you write on this with a nice fountain pen, and you just go, I could keep going. I could just keep going.
Yeah.
And you got to go, no, you've finished your mission, and you can't afford to buy one of these every week. You will, or every day. You will stop writing. You will be disciplined. You will take these pages out. You will photocopy them for posterity with your phone. Isn't it amazing that phones do scans now? And that iPads do scans.
That's pretty good.
That blows my mind. You can scan your credit card, put it in your phone, and your ID, and flash it to cops, and they'll still arrest you and bash you.
Yep. Hey, do you want any? Do you want any company in the stream? Shall we invite anyone else in the stream
Well, I don't know. Do we like the company?
Oh, they're lovely people, all of them. I don't know
Look,
who.
I love company. You know I love company, and
Yeah.
I like talking about myself, and
Mm.
I like having other people to talk to. When we have company, I'm going to tell you some rules, company. We have
Ooh,
expectations of you.
it's like Abigail
Well,
said,
I
with
worked
mad
this out.
skills comes mad responsibilities.
I worked with this out the last couple of times we had company. That there were some things that were bumpy, and I worked out. Hang on a second. Me and Angry have been doing this for 20 years. These people haven't. So, company, when you come on, what you're to do is you're to look at the images of both of us on the screen, and you're to be really sure that one of us is finished talking before you interject. You're to be really sure to throw to some person when you're finished talking. Like you go over to, or maybe Adrian would like to be called by his proper name, Aidsy. Maybe Aidsy would like to comment upon, sex in the modern hospital, or maybe Angry would like to comment on sex in the modern hospital, and basically be very careful not to talk over each other, because if you do that, no one can hear anything. If you're really not sure when to come in, raise your finger, and me and Angry will notice you and draw it to a point to throw to you properly. Don't be ashamed to raise a finger. Do not be
Right.
ashamed to raise a finger, because we used to do it all the time, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, I'm going to say, hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hello, Catherine. Look at you,
I'm
looking
in
gorgeous.
shit, but yeah. Yep.
You're looking gorgeous, Catherine.
Thanks. Yeah. It
Pretty
took me
neat.
4 hours to get dressed.
Oh, you got dressed just for us. Okay.
No, it took me like 5 hours to get dressed today. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
well. I'm not,
Oh,
no, I'm not COVID sick. I'm just
just not.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. And now I have everyone around me panicking over the phone. It's
Well,
like, yeah.
I'm panicking because I'm looking at you thinking, if this bitch takes me at the prom queen night, I am going to get all carried on it.
Oh,
Because she's looking
gosh.
that good. I'm
Yeah,
thinking you should spend the night at home, and I should
yeah.
go and get prom queen.
Okay,
Or
you do
maybe
that.
some money could be exchanged, and you could go and get prom queen, and I could just sit and cry tears into my tiara that I will never
Yeah,
officially wear.
yeah.
Tell us all about your world, Catherine.
Always say hi to
Well,
Abigail as well.
hi,
Hello. Can you hear
yeah,
me?
Yep.
yeah,
Cool.
you're great, Abigail. But yeah,
Sorry?
right now, you look great, Abigail.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, no,
I
people
I got all
panic
dressed up
about
today.
me. People panic about me the way they panic about you, I think sometimes. Where you're like,
That is really sweet.
you know what you do when you say, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine," and then everyone grabs you and wants to take you to hospital?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, but there's usually this hospital visit was one of them. A
yeah,
friend of mine said, "Let's go to lunch," and I went, "Yes." And then she rang me up
yeah.
and said, "Where the fuck are you?" And I said, "Getting ready to go to lunch." And she said, "I'm near you. I'm coming up now. Let me in." I went, "I'm so going to go downstairs." So I went flump, 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 flump downstairs and fell twice. And
Yeah,
then let her in, and then we went back up to my flat, flump, 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 and fell once. And then she was in my flat, and she went, "Fuck no." And I went, "Fuck no, what?" "We're not going to lunch." And I went, "We're going, of course we're going to lunch." She said, "You're going to hospital." I'm not
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hospital. This isn't fucking hospital. This is ridiculous hospital bullshit. Who is talking of hospital? Hospital. What a ridiculous way to start your day with a hospital visit. And she's going, "Okay, we'll go down and get your methadone, and then I'll call some ambulance." And I'm going, "Of call some ambulance. It's going to be ridiculous. They're going to show up and be embarrassed. I'm going to be embarrassed, and you're going to look like a goose. So I go into the pharmacy to pick up my methadone dose and crash into the baby aisle, destroying a third of it. The pharmacists, whilst miffed, are also a bit concerned because I really did crash into that aisle and gave myself a tiny little cut on the eyelid, which... not clever.
That's not
Anyway,
a place you want to be cut.
And they go, feel free to piss off out of the chemist. And I go out of the chemist, and there's some ambulance drivers there, and they go, you don't look so bad, dude. Do you really want to do this, or do you want to go to your GP? And I said, well, there's plenty of options, and I take one step, Catherine, one step, Abigail, and I face plant onto the concrete in such a convincing fashion as to blood my nose, make my eyelid, which I'd cut earlier, open right up, and there's virtually one of those joke face prints of a tulip shroud of AIDSy on the mall floor. I hope they've cordoned it off, going the Northcote shroud. And you'll have little nonnas, little Greek nonnas going, and I want health for my little baby children.
Yeah.
And you'll have, younger people going, I need the sex tonight, otherwise I'm going to have things explode. It's going to be embarrassing. So they'll all be praying for miracles, and then I'll turn up and they'll put fruit and gold at my feet. And I'll go, that's embarrassing because I can't bend over to pick it up, but I'll have attendance.
Yeah.
Around on a salon, and they'll be like Nubian men wearing nothing but leopard skin, tutus, and they'll be like, cruising along like dancers going, I was going to be in Cats, but Cats, the movie sucked. So here I am, carrying around Daisy, who's like lounging back, eating a grape at a time, and looking at someone and then deigning to point at them, and they may join me on the salon later when it's on the ground. Catherine, I'm seeing a future like that for you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I had an episode kind of like that on Thursday. So I do this video twice a week, and it's for an hour, and I really pushed myself because I've got cerebral palsy and balance issues. After about 45 minutes, I can't stand up. I literally can't stand up. And the video is going out the room to have a coffee. And I'm he comes back and I'm on the floor. Because
it's great, isn't it, when they leave you and you end up on the floor and you go, right, the call buzzer is literally 10 centimetres away from my hand, and I know that the nurse / care worker / health professional is 45 minutes away. I wonder if I can count the dots in the terrazzo 5 times while they're gone.
Yeah.
I wonder how much body heat I can lose while imagining how broken my arm is. And, it's an experience.
I'm just going to interrupt you there. We're going to go full Brady Bunch now with Grasshopper, aka Shannon, and Jason.
I finally get to say hello to Miss AIDS.
Hey.
Grasshopper, Justin Underwood. I'm looking at both of you guys, and I'm going.
So anyway, the trainer comes back in with a coffee and he just looks at me on the floor and goes, "What the hell? I told him on the floor," and it's I'm on the floor and I can't get up. And so then they have to pick me up, put me on this bench/bed, leave me there for 10 minutes, say, "You're not doing it anymore." And then I have to get an Uber home. And they're like, "Are you okay?" It's yeah, I'm fine, but
Have they ever put you? Have they ever put you on the flying sling? Where you're on the ground, right? You've done a slight mishap, like maybe walked when you shouldn't have, and maybe fallen over. Let's say theoretically I might have done that a few times in the last couple of weeks. Let's just say
No, I don't think they have. Tell me about
I
it.
might have accidentally gotten out of bed to go and get something off a shelf that was at standing height and missed the fact that there was a bottle on the ground, and over I've gone. I've gone over and can't get up.
Oh,
And,
I love that.
And I've gone, I am in nowhere near a boat, but the guys around me in the other beds have gone, that's interesting. My curtain's fluttered and I see an arm under the curtain. I wonder if that's an AIDSy done a classic fall trick of his. Let's turn on the lights and see. And then I see 3 heads poking around the curtains going, how'd you do that, dude? And I go, well, it was like this.
Funny story.
And go
Hey,
back
I'm gonna leave you in charge, AD. I'm actually going to turn my microphone off a second.
And
I'm
do a cocktail.
recording a cocktail video. I'll still be on screen, but I won't be making noise, so I won't distract you.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm there, and I know that I've got 5 minutes, maybe less, to make up a story about how I got 3 meters away from bed, upside down, pointing the other way, and unable to move. And I've gone, space aliens. No, it's been done before. Okay. What about ninja attack? No, I did that one yesterday. What about powerful masturbation mistake? And I'm thinking that could be a goer, because that's really embarrassing and no one wants to talk about it. But the trouble is my penis was saying, I've fallen and I can't get up. So it wasn't going to be a flyer. And I was going, maybe I should just tell the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell the truth in a hospital ever, ladies and gentlemen. Never, ever tell the truth in a hospital, because that gets you in so much trouble that World War III could be fought with you. Can you imagine the world's forces arrayed against you?
But I find
to me.
that
So
axiom
the
is
nurses
only
turn
true
up,
in the psych
and
ward.
there's not 2 of them, there's fucking 7 of them. And I'm going, that's overkill. That is overkill for any situation. That's overkill for a code grey, which is where a patient gets angry enough to punch on with staff, right? I'm not in a position to punch on. I'm splayed out like Christ on the floor. And I'm thinking, this is one of the 7 passions of AIDSy. I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor because of my duty to everyone to save the world by going and getting my electric cigarette, which they'd fucking taken off me, and put on another hard to reach shelf. And I'm thinking, I've got an electric cigarette in my hand. I've forgotten to throw that away. And the nurses are looking at me. It's become real obvious that I've gone over to get an electric cigarette and smoke it legally in the middle of the night and fallen the fuck over. And I've gone, all right, we'll play it the footballer's way. And they've gone, what are you doing there? And I've gone, I'm trying to take upskirt videos of nurses, but I forgot that everyone wears trousers. And they've gone, no, you're not funny, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. There's lights on, and we had one guy, he's gone now, thank fucking Christ. He was very into being on the right side of the rules and being a grumpy prick. He had his curtains closed at all times so that he didn't have to converse with us, but he would happily throw in a comment every now and again. Like, I'd say, yeah, well, the Spitsbergen was the place where the Graf Spee was hiding, and it got out, but the Bismarck was tracked from the time it got out of Spitsbergen. And then he'd go, that wasn't the sound they were in. They were in Fordinga Sound. And I was going, they're both in Norway. No one gives a fuck. And it was all down to the fact that the captain didn't top off his fuel tanks. The captain didn't have an opportunity to top up his fuel tanks because the Fuhrer ordered him to sail immediately. Okay, you're in your curtain. You've decided not to take part in the conversation, but you're just arguing with every fucking point I'm making. Please feel free to join in. What other information do you have? No, I'm not talking to you. Thanks, asshole. So,
yeah, he's too pedantic.
The lights have gone on. He's immediately started to complain. This is perfect. This is perfect for me. Because 3 of the 7 nurses have got to go and attend to him. And I say, Fred, it's been ages since you were incontinent. What? Are you okay, dude? Have I woken you at a bad time? Did I scare you into wetting the bed? And he has gone off his fucking brain, swearing and screaming at me, causing all kinds of noise and commotion. I'm going, this is great. I start to, floor worm my way back to the bed. Right? I'm going, if I can at least get closer to the bed, it'll look better. And the nurses turn around and say, fuck's sake, stop moving. We know you were trying to get a cigarette. We know you fucked it up. We know you've fallen over. Did you hit your head? And that's the question, ladies and gentlemen. That's the question. And that's the one you've got to answer correctly. And I've quietly gone, yes.
And they're taking you off the sketch?
And then they've all gone, have you ever heard a nurse growl? Because they all growled at once. And they said, right, get back into bed. And I've gone, can't. And so then what they do is they get this harness under you, yeah? And they put it on you. It's not very comfortable. And they put it on you and then hooks into this crane, literally a crane.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you off up the floor and you fly like a dead turtle over to your bed. And then
that's a hell of an analogy to dead turtle.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So you sort of flapping and flying. And I was going, this is very cool. Could I turn around? And they go, stop moving or we will slap you. And that is the first time I have been offered physical violence by a nurse ever. So I thought, this is the time to start to behave. And so they put me in the bed, leaving the canopy under me, and I'm going, I'm going for another ride. I'm going for another ride. That's awesome. So I'm going, going for another ride, going for another ride, and I'm doing this out loud. And one of the nurses has gone, this is not a thing to celebrate. It's 4:00 in the morning. 2 of us are supposed to be on break. You have ruined our paperwork shift. We have paperwork a mile thick to deal with your 4. You have buggered everything. You will be losing. And then she said, we are not allowed to punish you. Have I made myself very clear? And I thought, fuck. Because nurses aren't allowed to punish you, but they have their little ways.
What was your punishment?
Oh, I had a few next day. I had a few. I will list them for you. At 5 o'clock, I was woken to the gentle sounds of, so, Azy, shower. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. So gown off, pad off. Here we go, walking on the walker, and I'm just like a zombie. I have had a total of half an hour's sleep. And I get into the shower, and they go, righto, because you fell and had a head injury, we've got to shower you. And there were two nurses there, and they didn't have face washers, they had sponges. And they put Lysol on one sponge and soap on the other. And they soaped me, then they Lysoled me all over. Lysol stings like a bitch and smells like it's toxic because it's toxic. And it'll kill every germ on you and leave red marks all over you. So then they soap everything down and they pay particular attention to my anus and my genitals. If you've ever had your genitals washed so hard that you think, I think they've degloved the skin, then you'll know how hard they were washing. They then pulled out a wire brush, and I thought, that's not real. And then they put it down again, and they just wanted to scare me. And then they've taken the sponge and made sure my anus was clean, not my buttocks, my anus. And so they've stuffed this sponge right up into my rectile. And of course, what's going to happen if you get stuck into your rectum? You're going to defecate, which I did. And they've then gone, oh, Azy, that's so disappointing. You've defecated. We're going to have to put you on the commode, so you can finish that. And so they've yanked me onto the commode while I'm freezing cold and still got soap and crap all over me. And then they said, we'll leave you there to finish for a few minutes and be back.
15 minutes later?
3/4 of an hour later, I have dry soap on me. I am freezing parts of me off. The problem I was having with the degloved penis is no longer a problem because it's crawled back into my body, trying desperately to give me warmth. I have no feeling in my elbows or knees because all the blood's trying to come into the core to stop me getting hypothermia. And they've come back in and gone, finished? And I've gone, nearly, you've only got a few more things to do. And so then they hose me down again, not waiting for the water to get hot. And then it's finally warm and they warm me up. And they say, now drying. And another nurse comes in. This nurse is particularly interested in doing the back and forth, stripper bra trick under my taint, anus, and genitals. And I'm going, okay, another degloving. Basically then they dry my, I guess you'd call it mons above. And they're rubbing so hard that I can feel the hair coming out. I did get one little bit of revenge back though. What I hadn't noticed and what they hadn't noticed was that there was a boil forming under there, and they hit it and accidentally squeezed it, and I've gone, oh, and this thing's exploded into this towel. And there's about, I don't know, a golf ball's worth of nastiness. There's a lot of fatty tissue in there, and you can hide almost anything. You could probably hide the hand grenades, revolutionary weapons, in those folds. And so they've hit it, and they've gone, we better get rid of it, otherwise we're going to get caught. How did that explode?
Well, I caught you. What were you doing?
What was I doing?
The most disgusting hospital story I've ever heard.
Anyway, so then they squeezed
I'm
it,
right there with you.
and I was so happy because
It doesn't
they
bode well
squeezed
for me,
it, it was
given
just
that I'm
oozing,
going to be
oozing,
going
oozing,
in for a
and then
sleep
they got to
study
the
tomorrow.
explodey bit, and it went plaff all over one of them. And she's gone, oh God, I'm going to have to change. And I'm going, have a shower, just like me, and I'll send in 7 patients. Anyway, so they finished that up and they cleaned that up and they stopped fucking around. And then they get me out of the shower and it's now 6:30 in the morning and I'm going, great, I can go back to sleep. And they go, okay, tablets time. And they bring out 1 tablet every 3 minutes. I eat approximately 15 tablets. And so every time I'm nodding off, it's like, Azy, show us your wristband. And I'm going, please, God, kill me. And they make you drink all these tablets. And then I'm going, okay, finally I can nod off. Breakfast time. The tray hits down. And because my motor skills are buggered, I can't open the packets of things, like packets of sugar, the orange juice, the milk, stuff like that. And I've gone, I'm sorry, may I have some help opening the packets? And they've gone, well, it is rehab, and we were hoping that you'd have another stage to you today, so would you please try this yourself? Wow. Fuck. So I've spent an hour trying to open packets, and eventually I've just got my knife and just slammed holes in the orange juice and the milk. And then for the sugar, I've just rolled it between my teeth. Oh, by the way, my bottom dentures are broken, but they won't fix them because it's a hospital, and then the Royal Dental Hospital won't fix them because I'm not there, and the hospital won't let me go to the Royal Dental Hospital. It's not awkward, it's just bureaucratic and a pain in the ass. So I've only got my top dentures to chew on. So I can still speak, but it's awfully difficult to eat. So then I eat breakfast, which has gone cold, and after breakfast they go, righto matey, it's time to get you a fresh gown. So if you just stand up with your walker here, so gown off, pads off, and I'm thinking, that's weird because I just got out of the shower and I had a fresh gown. And I again realise, I see, the nurses aren't allowed to punish you. I stand with my walker for an hour naked behind the curtain. Just beyond my reach on the walker is a urine bottle. If I lean forward to get the urine bottle, I will topple forward. If I pull the walker backwards so that the urine bottle will fall over and come to me and I can pick it up, I will fall backwards. Either way, I'm not getting that urine bottle. And so I'm going, it's time for Azy to stop that. So at about 3/4 of an hour, I'm going, aiming time. I used to do this when I was a kid. I was good at it. So get my angle of projection right, get my windage right. Okay, have I got a firing solution? Yes. Go.
Firing solution.
Dribble, nothing. All right. Like a hose, squeeze the end. I'm prepared at this time to tell you that I was neonatally circumcised, so it's not like I can use some foreskin tricks. It's just, me and the eye doing my thing, and I'm doing these tricks, and I did get the range, but then it was sort of going in a two-way direction, and I sort of tried to get most of it in there, and I'd managed to spray the entire
how much of a mess did you make?
And dribble all the way down to the floor. And I've gone, I think I'm going to get not punished for this as well. So then the nurses have come back and they've gone, what happened here? And I said, well, I tried to urinate in the bottle, but couldn't reach it. And they said, we must have put it in the wrong spot. And I didn't say a word. And I said, well, no, it was a challenge. And unfortunately, I tried to hold on as long as I can, and then bang, explosion. So I'm awfully sorry, but it might have to be hosed down. And they've gone, yes, it might. Bring it into the shower. So hosed down it was. And maybe I was a bit hosed down it was as well with cold water. But they were pretty good about it. They toweled me off and then they brought me back in and they noticed that my breakfast was a mess. And they said, have you eaten anything? Have you eaten everything? And I said, I haven't eaten anything. And they said, well, you better have a go. And they gave me my cutlery back, which was accidentally in the plastic bag on the floor. Have you ever tried to eat wheat Bix with your fingers?
Yeah.
It is tricky. But you can drink it. You get the wheat Bix and you tap it really hard against the bowl, and then you just glop, 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 chomp, 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 glop, 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 chomp, 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 bit of extra milk, because I always ask for extra milk. Swirl, 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 chomp, 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 chomp. And because I remember my old days as a Catholic altar boy, and I used to see the priests do this with the big.
What happened there?
You know how everyone gets a little pissy one, and they get a big one because they're the fucking priest. They get everything, and they get all the wine. You get a sip. They get to fucking drink it all. Thanks, cunt. Anyway, so. I'm swirling my wheat bits around and glop, and then I see the jelly and I go, this is going to present a problem. And so I get a pencil that I've got and I cut, Trivial Pursuit pies in it. And then I remember my smoking days and I get my thumb and I flick the jelly pies up, and as they flick up, I got him. And then I flick him up and got him again. And then I flick up and one went right up my nose. And do I snot him out? Like, this action. Or do I do the tea taster and just give it a bit of...
Dude.
So I'm happy to say it was tea taster. Jelly clears the nostrils and tastes great going down the throat. The back of your tongue very rarely gets jelly. No, it's great. It's fabulous. Anyway, so I finished breakfast, and then the physios come round and I tell the physio what's been going on this morning. And he says, why? And I told him why. And he went, dude, don't do this stuff until you... Listen, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, here's my mobile number. Call fucking me. I will drive to your hospital and get you out of bed. And I went, thanks, man. That's really kind. He said, don't ever do that because it upsets the nurses. Have you any idea the paperwork they had to do? And I'm going, I'm getting a hint. And so then they put me back in bed, and this, my friends, is fucking glorious. They put me back in bed on the harness, and I'm going, flying turtle, flying turtle, flying turtle, don't move. Flying turtle, flying turtle, flying turtle. And then they put me back in bed, and when they release the harness, I fall out of bed again. They hadn't quite judged distance, and so this time the fall was their fault. And I had to go. Every time you hit your head, you've got to go down for a scan, a CT scan, and an X-ray. And it's a pain in the ass for everyone. So I've hit my head again, and this time lost consciousness, which is worse. I go for the full suite. And they had to give me an MRI. Now, I am deathly afraid of confined spaces. And so I won't go into an MRI unless I can't remember my name. And so they kept on having to put juice in me. And I'm going, I am a fan. Keep going. And I have to have a GRT of about 3 to get in an MRI, or I will fight people to not put me in there. So I've been generous, and my GRT is about 4. Now, when your GRT is about 4, you are capable
What's
of
GRT?
some urination and the identification of colours, not the right names of colours, but that there is colours. And so they put me in the MRI, and it goes bang, crash, whir. And I go, why is it going bang, crash, whir? And they go, don't move your mouth. We are scanning your head. I go, mm-hmm. Don't hum anything. We are scanning your head. And I go, mm-hmm. Stop humming. And then I forget about an hour in and start singing, Andrew Lloyd Webber tunes. And they say, we're doing it all again. I go, okay, more sedation. And they go, oh, fuck this, we've got enough. And they take me out, then they scan my head, then they x-ray my head, and then they take me upstairs. And the nurses are looking all very contrite because they fucked up badly to the point where our fuck-ups have cancelled each other out. And for the rest of the day, there was peace, except for when I had to have a lumbar puncture. And that was fucked. But that's a story for another time, maybe tomorrow. So, yeah, don't fall out of bed in hospital because you won't get punished by nurses. I was going to ask Justin Underwood, tell me stuff, sir.
Okay, so, funnily enough, a number of people have actually mentioned in the comments that they could hear me breathing. So,
that's fucking good. It'd be worse if you couldn't fucking hear you breathing. Slowly breathe.
But what's actually funny
are you good,
is that
dude?
tomorrow
Justin,
night.
Are you good?
Yeah. Well, what's actually funny is tomorrow night I have to go in for a sleep study to see if I have sleep apnea. And
they're fucking great because they stop you on all your drugs and they give you a sedative and you go to sleep and then you wake up in the morning and you've got a machine on. You go, that's not cool. But these CPAP machines are the awesomest thing in the world. And my dad, who's got a mild bit of claustrophobia, because fuck him. And basically they have a mask that they put on your nose, yeah? And it gently, quietly pumps air into your face. You stop snoring and you'll have the first decent night's sleep you've had in your life. And then what happens is, to get used to the mask, what you do is you go, I am an astronaut. I am on a spacewalk. I need this mask on my head to make sure that I stay alive while I see the most beautiful things in the universe. And you'll go straight to sleep. And you'll wake up feeling good. I've seen marriages saved by CPAP machines because snoring men can rattle windows. I've seen that happen. I've actually seen that happen. My grandfather did it. My father did it. I saw my mum with a knife over my father, and I went, Mum, probably not. The ridiculous part was 10 years earlier, she saw me with a knife over my father, and she said, Adrian, probably not. And so we had this code between us. And we were at Christmas dinner one time, and one of our relatives has said something, and we've looked at each other and said, probably not. And we both laughed and left the table and went, well, we're getting stuff now. Do you need a help? No. Jesus, no, we don't need a hand. Please stay here and continue scoffing your dirty, piggy face with well-prepared things with your hands, you poorly bred piece of shit. So we were out of there. So Justin Underwood, this sleep study is going to be awesome for you. And when they decide to stick a thermometer up your ass, let them do it, because basically if you do it, it might not work. And if they do it, then they've got the picture of how much work they're expected to do. Okay, Justin, you got me on this?
Yep.
And if you want cups of coffee and blowjobs, just ask. You probably won't get the cups of coffee.
What's
So
likely? Yeah. Well, what's
yeah.
Well, basically, what my doctor has said is that it's quite likely that it's my tonsils that are the problem.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought
And
you just said that out.
and my GP, I saw him probably about 2 weeks ago. He took one look at the he got the the microscope light thing that they sometimes do to look down the throat. He he looked at it and in 1 second and in 1 second he went, they're fucking huge. I'm surprised anything can get down there.
You know what that means, Justin? Is it means that big tonsils, big fucking balls. So, Justin, I want all the ladies. Are you straight, Justin?
Let's just say it's a
tell me.
combination of things.
Okay.
It's complicated, as they say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's looking at you going, Justin, big tonsils.
Yeah.
Big hands as well. Show me your hands on screen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, Justin. When you're in Melbourne next, you come with me and boss of the house.
Nah.
Because this is a challenge we're taking on.
Dear.
Hey, Andrew, is this the type of thing that you
There's
ever
some
thought your
drugs
stream would be
involved.
about?
There's some
With him, yes. Yeah, this is exactly, with him, this is exactly what I thought the stream would be about.
And you'll be on a bed surrounded by petals. And then you'll see
American
two
Beauty style.
angels coming in diaphanous curtain cloth. Coming near you. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Have you noticed what's behind me?
Oh, it's your Biden poster.
Oh, it's a
call
Biden
fluke.
poster.
Yeah, because Justin's been working for Democrats overseas.
Democrats abroad, technically, yeah.
Democrats abroad,
So
that's it. Thank you.
Where do you hail from, Justin?
What?
Where do you hail from?
I was actually born here in Australia, but my father's American, and I lived overseas for like 13 and a half years in like 5 different countries. Came back to Australia when I was 14, and have had a really weird life.
I love
should
that.
say.
I love the shit out of a weird life. Justin, you and me on another chat are going to have to talk about your weird life because I've got a serial to write called either The Man Who Wasn't There or As I Was Walking Down the Stair. And so I'm going to write this with the help of Angry, and every week we're going to put about 5 to 10 minutes of this serial up on this show. And we hope you enjoy it, and we'll put a few up, and if you hate it, we'll piss it off. If you like it, we'll keep it going. I want to hear about Justin's weird life because I'll use some of those for the story. I also want to let everyone know that occasionally we're going to need voices. So everyone, if you're interested in doing a voice, I'll announce a show and I'll announce how many voices we need. At the time, please just register your interest and we'll get back to you. And the way we'll do it is we'll do it like this, over stream.
Okay.
And we'll record it using Audacity or Note, and then we'll splice it into the main show, okay? And then we'll put it up on a day, and then hopefully everyone can enjoy it. So everyone knows the rhyme, right? As I was walking down the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish that man would go away. So that's going to be the main gist of the show, all right? And instead of it being a a character-driven story arc, it's going to be very much like Black Mirror. It's going to be self-contained stories every week, and hopefully that will be cool. If it's not, we'll just pretend that it never happened and move on. Much like President Trump's presidency. So if you're into it, please play. Justin, you've been helping with Biden's campaign from Australia. We live in a technical world now, so you can email people from Australia and they won't care. How's he looking for winning? Because Trump is such a fuck up that even Americans have got to start realising that to keep him in for 4 more years is tantamount to saying, please break my country.
I think that, 4 years ago, everyone thought that Clinton was a shoo-in. And and it all turned out to, we saw what happened on election night. This year, though, I would say that I don't think we've ever seen polls like this. Like,
what are the polls looking like?
Well, like Biden 14 points ahead.
Wow.
Trump in the 30s.
That's a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah,
that is a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah,
I still do it.
I still maintain that no matter what, Trump's going to have a second term. Suck as it might.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like, remember the live stream we did last Australian election, where up until the election we thought Liberals can't make it in; they're not going to win. And then I swear, in less than like 2 or 3 hours, we're like,
how the fuck did that happen?
Angry shut it down because we were screwed. And
well, I just am going with Trump's going to win because good things don't happen anymore. And only bad things happen. Only bad things happen. So,
I'm showing you a letter from Donald Trump.
I was about to say, I recognize that signature.
Yep. I got the $1,200 payment from the U.S. government.
Yeah. Nice.
Did you spend it on American-made products, Justin?
No. It's sitting in my bank account. I got 1,600. I got 1,600 Australian for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into the bank. I showed them a check, and the woman's like, "Oh, this is the second one we've had this week."
Yeah.
no.
Americans in Australia getting Trump checks.
But see, Justin, also
Trump bucks.
It's lucky because you're white, and you'll get your check first because those terms can wait.
Well, what's actually happened? Well, what's actually happened is they're actually doing the checks by income, and the lower your income, the sooner you get the check. Now the thing with me is my income isn't actually that low, but the thing is, if you look at my American tax return, what's happened is that there's this exclusion that I can use for the first $100,000 of my salaried income, and I don't even make that much. So what happens is my wage income goes to zero, and then the only thing left on my tax return is bank interest. So on my tax return, it says I made like $100, and like it says I made $100 a year, which means that I was one of the first to get like my check was one of the first to get out.
And you know the most disgusting thing is all of these corporate owners basically have $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 incomes because the company pays for everything else. So the money that they've got in their pocket is just walking around money. It's just beer money. And if they want a Veyron, they just get the corporate to pay for it. And that's how it works. I've seen it happen. And they call it salary sacrifice. So, these bastards have all come in and gone, Mr. Trump, I only made $80,000 this year. I'm negative $20,000, much like you. Can I please have my $1,600 now? Because I need to go to Las Vegas and put it into the American economy. And, you know, they don't go into casinos, they go into bitch houses. But that's still the American economy, and good on. You know, if I'm stuffing a 20 in Gail's underpants, good on her. She can, oh no, because then it goes into the South American economy, doesn't it? Anyway,
Yeah. But anyway, my $1,600 will stay here in Australia. And at the end of the day, it's really a refund from all the money I've spent doing U.S. tax returns each year. Because the one thing that is unique about American taxes is that they tax on the basis of your citizenship as opposed to whether or not you actually live there.
yeah, yeah. They were going to do that here in Australia, except the Italian and Greek governments agreed to pay the Italian and Greek pensions that they owed all the old Italians and Greeks. And so the pension that the Australians pay, the old Italians and Greeks, are a lot less. So as a result, they said, we're not going to do it on citizenship, we're going to do it on where you earn the money. And so that was why there was that big hullabaloo about Apple not paying any tax in Australia because they're based in Ireland. And they said, well, that's all great, but you sold $15 million worth of stuff last quarter in Australia, so maybe we're going to tax you on that. And then they got round it by doing it on the internet, and then they turned around and said, yeah, that $30 million you did on the internet, we're going to have a bit of that too. And it's pretty clever. The way they do it is because they can't go into your bank account and just take it, because banks are really anti that. They've got security. Except if you're Chinese, you can do whatever you want. They basically go, every transaction you make, they take a snippet of that on top of GST, and it's more than the actual fee. So the corporates basically have the opportunity to pay up front, or have pretty much 1.5 snipped out of their costs. And a lot of the corporates are going, snip it, we don't care. We are bigger than you. We are nastier than you. We have all kinds of tricks and tips, and you can go fuck yourself. So, Justin, are you here for good now, or are you going back to serve your time in the draft?
I was born here, and I've lived here continuously for the past 15 years. I'm staying here indefinitely.
Do you have a dual citizenship?
Yes.
So you're going back for the draft.
Well,
so when it's when it's time for the war to happen, buddy, you're going to be put on a plane,
so they can't draft me.
And you're going to be running around a jungle somewhere going, I don't understand this war.
Haven't
and
they outlawed the draft?
Me, nigger. So
first of all, what's happened? No, first of all, like I have signed up for the draft. But the thing is that I have moved address since I signed up. So if they send me a draft notice, it's just going to go to an old address, and I'll never know about it. Secondly,
could you imagine someone getting that, open the mail, what? I've been drafted into the US. Oh, well, I guess I have to go.
But I thought about this, and I actually tried to join the Australian Army when I was a kid because I wanted to fly helicopters. And my recruiter said, you've got everything going for you, son. And then some bastard from my high school dropped a bomb and said, you do know he's a poof, right? And my recruiter did a bit more research and said, yep, he's a poof. And my recruiter met me and said, you're not in because you're a poof. And I was kind of gutted, and he was going, it's really, really unfair because you meet all of the criteria really, really well, and you'd be a really good helicopter pilot. And we'd put you in an attack chopper because you would have no hesitation in shooting people while flying around, and I wouldn't. Which is why when the
Funny
Australian
story, I
drone
almost
program
became a
becomes,
chopper pilot in the army as
public,
well.
I'm so signing up. Good kill, good kill, good kill. And that's people in Australia, in the outback. I don't mind dropping bombs on Queenslanders, Northern Territorians, or Western Australians that used to live in South Africa. I can find Gina Reinhardt from 30,000 feet. And trust me, the amount of bombs I could drop on her would be sensational, because I wouldn't be going up in one armed bloody drone to the point where they'd have to put rockets on it to get it up in the air. I'd have to get a swarm of drones, and if I didn't quite make a paste of her in the first go round, I'd get one of the other 6 drones to keep on dropping bombs until her and her immediate family was destroyed, and then Australia could take back its riches. If she dies intestate, and trust me, I would pay lawyers to burn her wills, then basically we get half her wealth back into consolidated
Mining rights.
wealth.
Actually, she doesn't have any immediate family. She's so fucking horrible. She has alienated all of her children and has had legal proceedings against all of her children. She's exactly as bad as you expect her to be.
Hasn't she cut all the kids out of the will and whatnot?
What's that, Grasshopper?
I think she cut her kids out of her will.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Ex-ASIO and ex-Spetsnaz, there is a big check waiting for you if you can find the fat lady. Think about it as a big Where's Wally with Steyr bullpup weapons, and it's the Where's Wally is like you got people doing all kinds of things, and there's this house in the middle of the Where's Wally with a face on it going, Africans like $2 an hour. And then a double tap to the head and heart would give us our trillions of dollars of stolen, and she did steal it, money back.
I'm just pointing out, you actually swept someone up on your kill list. Kirsten's a Western Australian. Well, she's in Victoria now, but she was a Western Australian that used to live in South Africa.
Kirsten, there are exceptions.
Always.
Give me an email with a GPS coordinate and a Google map, and, mate, we can work something out. Cash may be involved, but Kirsten, we can work it out. I was going to throw to Grasshopper because you had something else to say.
Actually, I was going to ask Abigail what their story was about becoming a helicopter pilot in the army, you said?
Oh,
Yeah, I
am
am.
Something like that too.
I was in my 20s.
Abigail, you're not coming through, mate. Can you?
Yes, she is. I don't know what your problem.
You're coming through
now?
fine, Abigail. You're coming through fine. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine on mine.
Sure.
Just
Well,
go
I was
ahead.
in my 20s. I was between jobs. I left a bad relationship that was very toxic. And I thought, gee, I've always wanted to fly choppers. And I come from an army family. Like all the rest of my family were in the army. My brother drove tanks. My dad was in signals. My grandfather and his brother fought in World War II. So it was a kind of a logical choice. And I did all the testing, and the recruiters were keen, and I aced all the aptitude tests, and I'd gotten a job offer from as a programmer, because that's what I trained to be, a programmer. And I mentioned it to the recruiter, and the recruiter actually said, don't give up a civilian job for an army job.
Ooh.
So I think that was a test. That was a test to see if people are really keen and like willing
At
to
the
go
risk
the
of
extra
being a
mile.
prick, can someone give me a relay on what Abigail's saying?
No, it's too complicated. Just
I'll just suck it up. I'll suck it
But
up.
I ended up taking the programming job, and it was a really good job. So
Oh, cool.
I was this close. I have flown choppers before, as a trainee. It's hard, but I was like seriously one signature away from an army career, and I would have been the first officer in the family.
Ooh.
which is typical of me. I was like the only person in my family to even finish high school. So
Okay. So
yeah.
what, you have to be an officer to be a chopper pilot?
They make you an officer. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're a second lieutenant. It's the lowest officer rank in the army.
So
Yeah.
only commissioned officers get to be chopper pilots. Okay.
Yeah. So you do basic training, then you do officer school, then you go to flight school, and it's in Queensland.
Learn something new.
Yeah, so
Yep,
they
you
give
gotta
you
go
the
to
opportunity
Dunedin
to
if you wanna
fly.
be any kind of pilot in Australia.
Do you regret not doing it?
Me?
Part of me. Were you asking me, Catherine?
Yeah, Abigail.
Part of me does regret not doing it, but also I had an amazing, like, worthwhile career as a computer programmer that I loved, and I loved working as a programmer. I mean, if I could like clone myself so that I could choose both, I would have, because it would have been either or. It would have been fucking amazing, and little bit of regret.
Do you still do you still work as a programmer now, Abigail? Or
I'm on a disability pension due to multiple health concerns and chronic things. I had to. I worked for maybe 12 years as a programmer, all up, and then had to stop. I started a PhD in computer science and had to stop that as well. And but I the last time I wrote software was a couple of months ago, and I did it on a live stream, and it was lots of fun.
Well, Abigail's going to be my tech guru doing upgrades for my PC.
Sweet.
I'm excited about the new computer the upgrade you've got coming.
How to use iPad and not breaking
Tell me that you're going for Ryzen, Angry. Tell me that you're going the Ryzen system.
I don't know. What did we go for, Abigail?
Ryzen, yeah, the 3rd gen Ryzen, yeah. I
Abigail.
bought an i7.
I bought an
i7. So
I showed Angry this the other night. I'll just show you very quickly.
Grasshopper's PC.
Oh
yeah, nice.
Word.
Can I show you mine? Because
please.
Let's all show off.
Very similar. That's
Hey.
I've got like 7 fans in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fans.
Power from the house, and everyone would go, "What was that power brownout?" Just as you're doing another rendering.
And I've got like the joystick.
Oh my
throttles.
Is that a gaming joystick?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That is a gaming joystick, which means death.
And this is a button box I made for a game that I play, a space game.
Oh my god!
It's just an Arduino with lots of buttons.
Reprogrammer.
Is that for? Oh god, what's the name of that damn game? The one that's in virtual reality. Buggerman.
Eagle
Elite Dangerous.
That's the one. Thank you.
Yes, that is for Elite Dangerous, which I play a lot.
So
yeah.
my system is a Ryzen 9 3950X. Switched that from an old Intel 3770K, so bit of an upgrade.
Sure.
And
I don't know much about Ryzen's, but I learnt a little bit recently to help
because I need
Angry
to
out with his
know-
computer.
so go ahead,
Go on,
Aizen.
Because I need to know how much cock to suck to get the money. How much is this going to cost me?
Are you talking about mine or Abigail's, mate?
Abigail's.
Mine was $3,000.
So about $3,000, buddy.
About
All up.
$3,000.
$3,000.
I can
Yeah.
get that done in a year.
Mine,
Yeah.
I have to find
There's a lot
the
of
right
truck stops,
toilets.
mate. There's a lot of
The
truck
only
I need to
way,
buy some knee pads.
the only way I was able to
I'd be
afford it
okay.
was from a gift from my parents.
no,
Yeah.
mine was 4.5, but that's because I also had to get myself a new graphics card, and the RTX 2080 Ti is ridiculously expensive.
Wow,
I went with the RTX
That is
2080
an
Super
expensive graphics
because
card.
the
Mind you,
$2,000 for
lag,
just a graphics
goodbye.
card.
No
Wow.
lag.
It is.
And
It's
if
one of
you've
those
got an
things.
NVIDIA
I actually use the cuticores. I've actually got a use for the 2080 Ti as opposed to the 2080
Okay.
Super.
Yeah.
So, there is a use for it, but there was a big argument between, am I going to go the 2080 Super or the 2080 Ti? And I basically went, oh, bugger it, I'm down the rabbit hole anyway. I may as well just go.
keep going. Yeah, drink me.
Well,
And basically,
I
because
built-
also too, you
oh.
want your computer to last a few years before it burns down.
I'm hoping to get at least 10 to 15 out of this. I'm hoping.
That's exactly right.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
$10 out on a computer?
Yeah.
My last
Basically, every
computer
time I
was
was
only
rendering, when I was serious about it, and I was doing it in Povray, which is different. It's constructive graphics.
Justin, I don't mean to be horrible, mate, but could I get you to move your microphone up there?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Thanks,
Yeah.
mate. Thank you. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Aizen.
Oh, you're talking to Justin, not me.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, so when I was using Povray, which is a coding in computer graphics, it's constructive solid geometry instead of wireframe. So instead of doing a wireframe and then painting over it, it basically gives you an actual sphere mathematically and then ray traces from every pixel. And rendering those pictures basically takes so much computer power. As soon as you hit render, it basically goes, and the power in the house actually starts to brown out. And I was doing this, and I was unemployed at the time, and my wife then was bringing in all the money, and I burnt out 3 computers in 1 year. And I was just going, I am going to get in trouble. So I got a friend round to make the 3 computers slaves for rendering, and I burnt out the 4th computer in the new year. And I'm going, okay, this is going to be awkward because I'm going to have to go up to the wife and say, can I have another computer, please? And she's going to go, it's just after Christmas. No. But she needs it too to do emails. So she bought a laptop. And what I learned was that you can feed laptop processing to your slave farm without touching it. And so I finally got a system where I could make the slaves work. And it doesn't matter if they blow up because they've already blown up. All they need is a new power box and a fan. I tell you guys, even when you're gaming, render farms are the go, because they'll get your old computers and get your tech guru to make a render farm for you, because they can take care of the lower end processing and the system processing, and your main box is doing just the game, only the game. You're fragging motherfuckers, you're teabagging motherfuckers, you've made a patch where you're able to urinate on motherfuckers. I tell you, in a space game, when you're urinating on people, it's a weird effect. Because you've only got Newton's laws, and you've got to really push because you're going backwards while they're trying to get their jets up to speed. But they don't. They don't. They get splashed with the true urine of Australia. Abigail, what made you happy today?
Ooh.
What made me happy today? I bought some yarn, and I finished this for my brother's
That's pretty cool.
unborn baby.
That
because
is
I-
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
And it is
And
fucking cute as hell.
I've started a little beanie here. I know the color's a bit washed out, but
that is also pretty cool.
But
and pretty
yeah, I
cool.
don't know. I was
Now,
gonna go on a
you're
date
occasionally going to hear
today.
some noise because the lady next door has gone into another screaming, and she's going to continue to scream for a few
Can you
hours.
hear me yet, Aidsy?
There's nothing to be done.
No, I think I have to repeat. Abigail, you were saying you were going to date.
Yeah,
Sorry,
my
please,
date
Ingrid?
cancelled on at the last minute.
Oh,
They got
bummer.
a call from work.
Oh, it's weird times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kirsten, crochet. I've tried
misread what
knitting,
you said.
and it hurts my hands.
You have to
Knitting is
repeat.
just
Okay,
too
Abigail
hard.
being crocheting is what she's saying, Aidsy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to crush over you, Abigail.
No, you're not.
please.
You're right, AZ. You can't hear them speaking, so it's a bit difficult for you to understand the timing. It's all good, mate.
Also,
Yeah.
Angry, do you mind if I post a link to my computer specs for people to see?
I would love that.
If
Yeah,
anyone's
I don't know if StreamYard will let it do, but definitely post it. Yeah.
I've tried to post it in the YouTube comments.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really control whether or
AZ,
not.
Abigail is talking about posting up a.
Oh, I got it.
Then you. Can
it's in the private chat if you want to see it. But,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
found it.
Oh, wait. Okay,
Yeah.
private chat because I can post links. So
Cool.
Yeah, if you could post that in, that'd be great.
So
Yeah.
anyone who wants to know what Abigail's computer specs are, yeah, we're all nerds. We want the specs.
Woohoo, that's a lot.
So the price has gone up, believe it or not. I because of COVID. So it's reporting here that it was 3,700, but I only paid $3,000.
Okay.
Well, that
At the
was a
time,
lot.
I bought an i7 because I know Intel, and I know, like, at the time, I don't think was Ryzen 3rd Gen released back in December.
Yes, it no, it came out in January, early January.
Okay. Well, I would. It was either an i7 or an i9. So
your computer specs.
Sorry, are you asking me there, AZ?
I am.
I'd love to see your specs.
I don't have a list to link to, but I can tell you that it's a Ryzen 9 3950X. It's a RTX 2080 Ti, 64 gig of DDR4 3600 RAM, a 1 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 NVMe drive, and 4 Western Digital Blacks in a RAID 2 array.
That's
Right.
What do you need with all that?
You've got
power?
no memory. It's a shit card. And it's no speed. I don't know why you spent the $200.
Are you doing live video editing or
I
something?
feel for you.
No, Abigail, I run a bunch of virtual machines for a bunch of my clients.
Oh, it's what? Okay.
That'll
Yeah, I run my own business networking, basically. And a lot of my work is remoting into various servers and whatnot.
Cool.
And sometimes I need to have 10, 15, 16 different instances open. So each of those are in their own virtual machines. And having all of that RAM and those processor cores definitely comes in handy on that one. The Western Digital Blacks is because I am the kind of person that I buy movies and whatnot digitally, basically. I don't bother buying the physical copies anymore.
Yeah,
and
there's no
because
point
I'm
anymore.
a purist, I download everything in ultra high def Blu-ray, blah, blah, blah type things. So I have a tendency to chew up a lot of hard drive space really quick.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And how big is your hard drive?
Like I said, I've got 4 Western Digital Blacks. Each of them are 8 terabytes in a RAID 2 array. So,
Whoa.
Okay.
so that's supposed to be about 32 gig, but 32 gigs, but it's about 26 terabytes usable.
Yeah.
You know what I was about to
Still,
say?
dude, 26 terabytes. You're talking all written language of all the world. You could probably simulate an entire country.
Yeah. It's
down
a library of
to
Alexander.
grass.
I remember when I was studying IT 15 years ago, and they're like, yeah, the latest thing that came out was a terabyte, but they're just scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Have you
I
heard
remember begging my
conspiracy theory
father.
that we're all simulated and that we're all in like some sim game simulation?
I
Yeah.
have heard that theory.
We're all
I'm
a simulation in Grasshopper's computer, I think.
So statistically,
And Grasshopper,
we're
if
more
you
likely
don't
to
like
be in
my
a
body
simulation
goes,
than
just
not.
let me know, because I don't want you to delete me or change me in any way. I suppose you could just reprogram
You.
Could
You could
anyone
just
change you, AD? Could anyone change you?
program what I say, you know,
What?
and I could sing the Lord's songs every time
Yeah.
I come on.
But hey, I'll tell you something.
Oh,
that you
who
would like.
loves me? The Lord loves me.
I totally am going to
And carries me in his bosom of Jacob.
Jay-Z from
Carrying me in
existence.
the bosom of Jacob. Did anyone as a kid think that was fucking perverse?
Getting
You
him.
know, he's
Jacob's
carrying
I've
me
bosom.
in
never
that
heard
tit.
that song in my
What
life.
the hell is that?
Neither
Am
have
I
I,
about to
actually, but
milk
it's interesting
someone
nonetheless.
more worthy?
Yeah, no, he went to a Catholic school in Canberra. So, can you hear me, AZ? I'm getting a direct
Yes, I
line
can.
to the nurses' quarter. The next time you sing Christian songs, they're going to come in and give you a barium enema. So,
Uh-oh.
Fuck
Uh,
you. Fuck you. That
tell
was
you a bit
5
about-
times, and I told you to keep that to yourself, and it
Yeah.
was my fun and my privacy, and
Yeah.
whatever I do in a hospital for
Yeah.
enjoyment is nobody else's business. I suppose it's the Australian government's business because they've got to pay for it. And a barium enema is something that everyone should do once in their life
Yeah.
to just enjoy the tingling.
Oh.
And the X-ray during it is something.
You know, I think I'll die a happy man if I never experience that. I think I'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
How
I
old
just
are you,
noticed.
Grasshopper?
I am 42.
Grasshopper, you are due a barium enema in the next 3 years.
No, dude,
Sorry,
I'm
man.
10 years older and I've never had one. So,
And guess what, Grasshopper? It is very soon time for you to have your prostate checked. Right.
I've already had mine checked.
yeah.
Here's what you do.
TMI.
You get your
I don't
health
need mine
practitioner,
checked.
before they do their thing, you say, hey, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but we're not trying to dock Thunderbird 5 here. What you want to do is place your finger against the anus, and then roll it in. Roll it in. With plenty of lube, you roll it in. You're not trying to attack like a virgin homosexual. You're trying to roll it in because it's much more comfortable. And
Are you too good for your
you'll
home?
be given the gold star of courtesy finger. I had
Someone got that reference.
what? Are you calling me off here? Stop talking about gay.
No. But I was just going to say, who remembers when Julia Gillard's bloke caused a bit of a fluff when he was trying to be, lads, get your prostate checked, and he tried to be funny and he said something like, get an Asian lady doctor with little hands to do it. I was with AIDS when he said that, and AZ's going, no. I've had that. This woman was so uncomfortable, and she just went, bam!
She fucking fucked it up so badly that I screamed. I was already having a bad day because they'd put 4 bungs in me because they thought I was going to have a seizure at any time, and they would need to put lots and lots of clonazepam in me, which I am a fan. Um, and I did have a seizure, and they did put the clonazepam in me. And so she's gone for the bum check, and she's done it so badly that I've screamed and gone, "Oh my God, what the fuck are you doing?" And she said, "I have to do this." And I've gone, "Not the way you're doing it." And she's dragged it out. I'm in emergency, so the nurse's station is literally the next bed over. And she's gone and dragged it out. And I've gone, "Well, fuck me. No one's sending you to do the courtesy finger." And I've said this at the top of my voice, and half the nurse's station was pissing themselves laughing. They just couldn't,
Please, mate, please.
just could not deal with it. The other thing that happened in that same visit, after I was moping in my cubicle going, "I don't want her to touch me," and she was my doctor from then on in, great.
Oh,
And she managed to fuck up several procedures, including
was she new?
how many lumbar punctures does one man need, really?
With your
Anyway,
medical history, about 11 billion, I'd say, mate.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So she had to go in 3 fucking times. 3 fucking
Oh,
times.
that's
She
awful.
broke my spine. Well, she punctured my spine on each occasion. No. She punctured my spine on one occasion, and then she punctured my fucking disc on another occasion.
Oh.
And that was really special. And then finally, she's gone through and got the spinal fluid, but she's hit it so hard that she's cracked a nerve, and my toe was wobbling for a week and a half, and I was very unhappy with her work. Until I came
Yeah,
to the
no
doctor
shit.
who had to get some cysts out from under my toenail. My toe had expanded to the size of a football, and he squeezed it. One of the cysts has exploded, and he's gone, "Well, there's some cysts under there. We're just going to have to scrape them out." And the head of emergencies come in and gone, "Oh, you poor thing. We'll put a nerve block in, and we'll put it in here." And she showed the doctor where to do it, and he's like this. And so he's put these needles in, and he said, "Is that numb?" And I've gone, "No." And then he's going, "Well, all right, I'll put some more in." And he's come back and he's gone, "Is that numb?" And I've gone, "No." And he's put some more in, and he's come back and said, "Is that numb?" And I've gone, "Well, no." And then he's gone, "Well, we can't wait around forever." And I've gone, maybe we should." And then he's put a very fine scalpel in and scraped.
Oh.
And
I'll be right back, guys. Gotta go get myself a drink. I'll be right back.
and your toe is a tiny little part of you, but you'd be amazed how much pain it can give you. And so he scraped these things out and then squeezed my toe and then says, "Look, it's all done. You're done. You can go." But my toe's still up to buggery, and I'm going, "Oh, I'm not a happy camper." There was a lot of argy-bargy, and I'd missed my methadone dose, and I was in a lot of pain, and they weren't going to give me any painkillers because I was on methadone, and they got me my methadone dose, and it doesn't help. And the head of emergency comes back in and said, "How was that?" And I said, "Oh, it hurt like buggery." And she's looked at the toe and said, "He's missed the entire nerve ring 3 times." And she's got him in and says, "Look, big fella, you've missed the nerve ring. And the nerve ring's a bit down here." And he's like shrugged his shoulders and gone, "Whatever, junkie." And she's gone, "Can you pop outside? We should have a chat." And so she pops outside, and I imagine she tore him 3 new assholes, because I never saw him again. He might have even got fired. I fucking hope so. And she comes in and goes, "Look, this is temporary because I can see that there's a pus ball on the top of your toenail that we have to get to. This is only temporary, okay? I'm sorry, but this is the best I can do. And she goes up near my toe knuckle and pumps in like a litre of bloody anaesthetic. And it burned like crazy. And she said, I'm so sorry, it's going to burn like crazy. And then all of a sudden, my toe goes numb. And she spikes this pus ball, squeezes my toe, and this bloody thing squirts out an enormous amount of nastiness. And she said, for him to miss that disturbs me. And while she's squeezing this thing, 2 more sacs under the nail blow up. And she's gone, oh, and he's missed a couple under here too. I'm so sorry for the poor treatment you've got. You can go. And I've gone, all right, can I have a plastic bag to go home with? And she's gone, and they've all gone, what? Can I have a plastic biohazard bag because I can't get my shoe back on because the toe's right up. So I've taped this to my leg, and I've gone home on the tram, and everyone's looking at me and going, the guy's got a biohazard bag on his leg. Cool. And then I've come back to my house where the cool gang was, and they were all deciding to go down to the social club for a few beers and to pick up chicks. And I've come in looking like hell, and they've gone, oh, we're not bringing Azy. We're not bringing Azy because all the bitches will go straight to him. All the bitches will go straight to Azy going, how did you get your bio bag, big guy? And I'll go, I had pus balls under my toenails. My toenail is at an angle. Did you want to experience this? Anyway, 2 days later, I am taking a couple of guys down the mall. My toe's still sore. I'm taking a couple of guys down the mall to educate them because I'm doing training on how to be a human. Because I do that. I do life coaching if you're ever interested. And I can give you confidence, politeness, and how to influence people and creativity. Anyway, bit of an ad.
Yeah.
And by the way, I use any gender, any preference. Don't you worry about it, because there's some core values that are human. Anyway, so I'm taking these guys down the malls to practice being in public and to practice talking to checkout chicks. Talking to checkout chicks is important because so many people disrespect them that it's easy to do. And so you've got to learn how to treat them like humans without creeping them out. It's a very fine line, but if done properly, you can actually spread joy throughout an entire section of a supermarket. It's a really interesting thing. Anyway, so down we go. One of the boys does really well, and one of the boys does sort of well, but a bit too much and a bit too creepy. So away we go, and we're walking back to my place, and I take a step, and I feel 2 bursts under my toe, and suddenly I go, oh my God, the relief. The
Oh, in a
relief.
good way?
And I've finally realised that I've got the last couple of sacks of nastiness from under my toenail. I get home and go, guys, I'm sorry about this, but I've got to check this out. I take my sock off. It's wet. And I've gone, nice. I check inside my sock and I go, I'm not showing anyone this. And
But you're going to tell us. Okay, cool.
yeah, and then I go,
You cannot tell us we're okay if you don't tell us.
yeah, I get a plastic bag out of the bag, and I go, all right, now's the time. And I squeeze my toe, and the last of the nastiness comes out. And I'm going, oh, there is a God. I'm feeling so good. And my trainees, one of them was going, I'm glad you feel great. The other one was going, look at his fucking toenail. It's on sideways. That's disgusting.
That's an issue.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And as I've gone to sort of straighten it up, it's come off in my hand. And I've got a toenail in my hand that is roughly 4 centimeters long. And I've gone, can I push it back in?
No.
And I've gone, maybe not, because I've noticed another infection under there which needs attending to. So I attend to that, and the bloody thing squirted 1/2 meter in the shower. And I've gone, no, the nail's staying off until this guy's better.
It'll
I
grow
take
back.
my foot to the doctor, my GP, and he says, oh, okay, I'll have a look at it. And he goes, I'm not looking at that anymore. Here you're having these antibiotics and you're going to get dressed by the nurses and you're never going to show me that again. And I'm going, this guy's a doctor. He's seen anal fissures. He's seen fucking things that go boom when you have bloody breast implants. You know, he's seen everything, and he sees my toe and freaks out. And I'm going, okay, he's not toe friendly. And then I look on the web and he's like, is toe friendly. He's just been my doctor for 25 years and decided there are some things. I mean, he was with me during the Fournier's gangrene when they cut my scrotum off. He was okay with that. You know, he was okay with the fact that I had scars, but no. Anyway, it got better, and now I have 2 toenails coming out of that toe. It's really cool.
Weird.
But the thing that I was going to finish on was that it wasn't the toenails, it was the come on, AZ, think fast, son.
You have to think fast because it's time to go.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
When I hit my head, they discovered that my cerebellum has shrunk. And because it's shrunk, all my motor skills and my cognitive skills have shrunk along with them. So until it puffs out again, I am sorry for missing the beat and being cognitively a bit slow. And not being able to listen to Abigail, which shut me to tears because Abigail's really interesting. Abigail will work out what happened with my end of your microphone, and we will listen to your amazingness. Angry, you sound impatient.
No. If I was impatient, I would have just switched you off. No, it's bedtime. I actually did want to. The final thing I wanted to say before we go is RC came in about 10 minutes ago and said, "Oh, just tuned in." For the record, this looks like the craziest lineup of experts ever assembled for a really old episode of Late Line from about 1992, when it looked like Celebrity Squares, and the topic would be something like "Where next for postmodernism?" I just thought that was.
Yeah.
It's a great comment. There's a part of me that wants to be a bit like, fuck you, but there's a bigger part of me that's like, actually, that's a really good out there comment. I like it.
No, I'm on board with that.
I would have said Gibson is the next place for postmodernism because he's still going. And I cherish the next Gibson book that comes out. I'm thinking of buying all of his stuff on a regular basis on audio. Because that's how he would love it.
Yes.
So, Catherine,
Anyway.
whereabouts do you hail from, darling?
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
All right. So it is bedtime. So everyone, good night.
It's 10 p.m.
Good night.
Bedtime.
Thanks for having us, Angry.
It's okay.
Bye.
Good night,
Take
everybody.
care, everyone. See you all later. Go on a